Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Libra friends, it's a pleasure for me to be here to be able to offer you a peek into the year 2020. And it's customary in at least over the last 3 or 4 years I've done that. And I usually use the Lenormand cards. It's an oracle card deck, and I'll talk about that as I mix the cards. I think my camera has settled, I hope. Let me get on to there you go. So I remember who I'm reading for. Um, I usually use a mini grand tableau. And what does that mean? For those of you who read cards and are familiar with the Lenormand cards, it's a cutout of a larger grand tableau. There are 36 cards, and the grand tableau uses all 36. I have a different system, and we'll check that out right now. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Virgo, I'm sorry, I keep saying the last one. Libra friends, and I have it right in front of me. I'm just looking right at it. Libra friends, let's show you the table I'll be working on. There you go. And I trust that you can see that. There you go. It's focused. Okay. And I'll be using that. All right. Now, let's see what's in store for Libra for the year 2020. What's in store for Libra for the year 2020? What's in store for Libra for the year 2020? In store for Libra for the year 2020. Okay, let me show you those. Just a second. All right, let me show you the first card. That is the cross, the key, the bear, the snake, the fox, the book, the sun, the clouds, the ring, the birds, the woman, the fish, the stars, the garden, the stork, and the mountain. Now, I'm going to first deal with trimesters, the first 3 months, the second 3 months, then and so on. So let's start with the first 3 months of the year, the first trimester, January, February, and March. Libra friends, I have here a very, very important beginning to the year that involves your power to create a strategy in terms of facing any issues that you have and facing problems that you need to solve and facing major concerns. You have extreme power in this sense right at the beginning of the year. Even, and this still with the work realm, in the work, in your hobbies, work related issues. In concerning a partnership, a work-related partnership, you will have clear guidance in that sense. You'll know exactly what to do in terms of strategizing. Now, this can also play out as being the first 3 months of the year, you will definitely be blessed with receiving that job. You've been waiting for a long time. You've been waiting for the promotion. You've been waiting for a response. You're going to get it this first 3 months in that time frame. And not only, it's going to be heaven sent because it will condition and change radically the rest of your life during the year and forward. It seems as if the first 3 months of 2020 is a watershed period. Libra, what does that mean? That means that you'll be turning back and looking on these 3 months as and saying, wow, my life seems to have been cut into before the beginning of 2020 and from the spring on. Now let's go on to the second trimester, the second 3 months of the year. I have here April, May, and June. April, May, and June. It looks like to me that there's a number of things that occur. For those of you, let's start by saying, for those of you who study, who are at university, who are going through training, who are still in a formation phase, it's a moment that will be anxiety ridden for you, difficult times to get through it, and you can't wait to end it. And you can't wait for the graduation session, for the time when you can come out and talk about your thesis, when you can finally bring your project that you initiated the training with and make it come alive in the real world. But it also has another reading. It means during this period, this April, May, and June, Libra, is a time where you are starting to get a notion that there's more to life than what meets the eye, and start to ask yourself questions about what really happens to material goods, what happens to us as human beings when we're no longer here. And you start asking yourself existential questions that you don't have the answer for. And mind you, it's not a matter of not knowing because you haven't read up, because you haven't been trained, because you haven't been schooled, because you haven't been indoctrinated. No, it's that this part of the year, April, May, and June, is going to be a period where you have no answers. You know that there are no answers. And you finally will come to accept that, because the more you speak to everyone and talk about existential issues, did you ever wonder what happened when? The more you talk to other people and the more you read, the more you realize that there just are not answers for everything. Now, the third trimester, the period that goes from July to September, July, August, and September, is probably one of the most beautiful parts of the year. Why? Because your sense of security is at an all-time high. You will be having a great relationship with the person that is alongside you, the person that walks with you on your path, the person who looks in the same direction as you. For those of you who are single and not partnered, there will be a particular person with whom you nonetheless do that, but from afar. You are on the same wavelength and you consider them as family, and you consider them as part and parcel of your own life, and you don't want to box them into a definition. You don't want to call them your companion. You don't live with them. You don't want to call them your boyfriend or girlfriend, your mate, your significant other, because it's just more than that. Okay. Well, they will be so present in your mind in that that third trimester, July, August, and September, that's probably the highest part of the year 2020. Now, in terms of the last trimester, October, November, and December, here we have some insidious things that occur. For those of you who have a relationship, there's going to be potentially there's a third party involved. And it has to do, you may want to change the relationship, and there'll be money issues that will make you think twice and not make you want to do that. You will want to come to terms with that relationship regardless of the third party. But it's not settled by the end of the year. This is one reading. in that trimester also, there is someone on your workplace, someone in your realm, someone among your friends, among your tribe, someone that does not have your best interests at heart. But it is only a fleeting moment, and they stand in the way of your making more money, being more successful, especially those of you who have your own business. So look out. And I see this as a female who is, we say, putting a stick in your spokes, the spokes of your wheel, who is hindering you from getting ahead. Now, there is also another reading here, and it has to do with issues arising at the beginning of that period, October, November, December, October, mid-November, that make you believe that, okay, they may be causing me difficulties in my line of work and maybe robbing me, literally and figuratively, of much of my wealth. But all in all, I don't think that life stops there. And you start thinking along the values of other abstract concepts and emotions that are more important in life. Now I'm going to take all of these cards. Each of them occupy a house. It's a domain of our life. It has a meaning, and I'll talk about that now. First of all, in terms of endings and beginnings, that by far is the prime focus of your year 2020, because ending something, whether it is a job, a relationship, a contract, and starting a new one will bring you emotional pain, because it seems that you're entrenched on keeping that, as if you fear it will cause you fear to end and to begin anew. There's also the area of life that concerns surprises, and this is what 2020 is all about for you, Libra. It is a year of surprises. And what kind of surprises are we looking at? Surprises that you think may sometimes be not be positive for you, but then again, surprises that will surprise you. Here you've got a mixed bag in 2020, but you are sort of, you look at things from afar and a little bit fearful. But I have to say to you, Libra friends, that don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm looking at surprises in the year 2020 as being positive, all things considered. Now, the area of complete endings. The cards are telling me, Libra friends, that when something ends, be it a contract, a relationship, a partnership, anything that comes to an end, it will foster a greater sense of security for you. And it will even literally mean a greater sense of security, financially speaking. If you end a partnership, you will come out on the best part of the deal. Now, in terms of spoken communication, here you've got to watch your back. You've got to watch your back. There are things that have been said or will be said in the grapevine that work against you. So when you yourself need to interact in spoken communication, hold your tongue and listen to others who speak to you, but listen analytically and critically to what they're saying. Now, the area that concerns your work, your workplace, there are two readings here. Your year 2020 is going to be a year based on your work. It's full front center stage. That is going to be the most important aspect in your mind. Okay, I'm not saying that it is, but in your mind. Also, another area that is of prime importance is how you plan and strategize to overcome difficulties. So spend time with that. Your sense of security is an area, even though we said, I just said that an ending, say a contract ending or a job ending or a relationship ending will give you a sense of security. In the year 2020, you won't initially see it as that. Your mind won't even go there, but because you won't know until other time passes. So your sense of security initially will be a question mark because you're not seeing it changes as being positive. Guidance in your life will be coming from afar, will be coming from very close, but from a different domain. Your spirit guides are going to help you. And the question here in Libra is, are you prepared to? Have you spoken to your guides? Are you able to get into contact with your guides? I'm seeing here that any kind of communication, signals, signs that come your way are going to be messages for you, and they will be, I'm seeing the sun here, I'm seeing light, and light fosters divinity, divine progression, and your soul's journey is walking a path of life in terms of how you're guided. Again, look for those guides' messages. Home, your sense of home. Here, this is a bit of your sense of home is undermined, and it could be because of many changes that occur. It could be because of endings and beginnings that you don't always see as positive, but it is fleeting. It is just a fleeting moment and your sense of home is going to be not destroyed, restored nonetheless, and very quickly. So when you feel that your sense of home, your sense of belongings is menaced, is threatened, fear not, because that will pass quickly. Now, the area of public life, you in relation to the public life here, you've got an ally in the public, in the sense that whenever you have difficulty with one party, take it to another level and call a meeting with other people around, because the crowd and other people who are around you will support you in your efforts. So the public domain is an area where you will find support from other people. Obstacles that you encounter during the year 2020, Libra, are going to be quite, how can I put it, anxiety-ridden for you. I'm not going to mince words here. Whenever you come across an obstacle, your stomach will start churning, and beware of that and be ready for that, because obstacles are part of life. Obstacles usually imply upcoming changes. So be ready for that. Decisions that you need to make. Ladies and gentlemen, Libra friends, I'm seeing a woman in your life, in your family, in your circle of friends, among your tribe. A female is going to be instrumental in helping you make major decisions. That's one reading. Another reading is that your emotions are to be trusted. You have to trust your gut and your heart when making decisions. Nuisances, issues, problems that are fleeting, but that will be, the background of the year 2020 has to do with basically those of you who earn money from a private business, from your own business. That will always be a chore for you. That will always be on the front burner as being difficult. You're always going to be thinking, where am I going to get my next buck from? Where am I going to get how am I going to pay? So those are, but they come out in the reading, Libra friends, as being a nuisance, not a problem. Nuisances is when you drive a car and you get a flat tire. That's a pain in the ass. Sorry, that's a nuisance, but it's not a major life-changing occurrence. Now, in the area of hidden, something hidden, things that are hidden from you, Libra, are the things that will be will be guiding you. And I mentioned it before. And it has to do with spirit guides. Those things that you do not see are the things that will act in your favor, that will serve to give you signs for guidance. Matters of communication. Now, matters of communication, of written communication, will have to do with the public life, will have to do with you in relation to something that concerns the public life. How you go about work, let's say public life will mean interacting with powers that be, interacting with institutions, and it will concern matters of written communication. So read between the lines and try to understand what is being written there and communicated. Now, the area of male influences, our male influence, our inner male side to our soul. Your male influence generally concerns anything that has to do with areas of male-related activities. There's a lot of research in the world concerning what is a male-dominated world and what is a female-dominated. People work with social issues. Here I'm looking at your male side becoming more emotional and wanting literally to go back home. That area is, like E.T., home, that issue of wanting to find a place that is yours to call home. It's as if you want your job, let's say you want to work at home. You want to bring something that is a male-related activity to the home. The female side, our female issues, our female side, our female animus, the anima, is going to concern spirituality related issues. Your emotions will be, you'll be, I'll give you an example. You'll be going to church one day. You're going to pass a church. You never usually go to church, but you stop and decide to stop and just look around. And you're moved to tears when you think of when you used to enter that place of worship in a different way on a regular basis, with your parents, with certain friends that may no longer be there. So your female side will be very, very highly attuned emotionally, and it will be something that's present constantly in the year 2020. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Libra friends, I do hope that you will be really enjoying this year of surprises, because it is a year of surprises for you, Libra friends. Namaste, and do share and like my videos if you appreciate them, and subscribe if this is the first time. Bye bye. I'll be back for the Januaries pretty soon. Bye bye.